Hey guys, Benny here from the Benny Brothers channel, welcoming you to our first episode of Let's Look At, in which I show you guys some collectibles that I've had for a while now. So for our first episode, I thought I would show you guys the hardcover collector's book of the making of Earthworm Jim, which is on Doug Tenople's website, of where he sells his comic books like Earthworm Jim and Bigfoot Bill. And this book originally released during the time in which he had a Kickstarter and releasing two Earthworm Jim comic books, which were basically retellings of the Earthworm Jim story. But this book in particular, I figured I should have gotten first, as it takes a rather deep dive into the origins of the Earthworm Jim character, how he was made, and pretty much Doug Tenople's memories of working at Shiny Entertainment. So here are the beginning pages here. Some nice artwork. Some artwork from Earthworm Jim 2. And some art from his Earthworm Jim 1 comic book. So there you go. Nice little description of Doug himself. And then showing some members of Shiny Entertainment just coming back together for this book. There's quite a lot of pages here as well, so you'll be pretty much reading this book for a while, probably diving in for at least a couple of hours, reading through the whole thing. So they go into detail about how Earthworm Jim was created, showing some original design documents, and what appears to be some kind of move in the game that went unused, the wedgie attack. So that's pretty neat, showing all this neat stuff. And here's some more art from the first comic book from the Kickstarter, as well as a nice little timeline of the events of what was going on with Doug, like some of the books that he made, some projects, and a lot of stuff going on here. So there are a lot of like graphic novels that Doug made, not just, working on Earthworm Jim, but other projects as well. A nice little description of Jim himself as a character, as well as the other characters in the game, especially some of the villains that he comes across. So there's that. There's the princess. And that's pretty much all of the characters there. And then they show off the original comic book that came with the instruction manual of Earthworm Jim in the video game. So just in case if you wanted to read that before buying the Kickstarter comic book that retold the origins, it's all here. And this pretty much goes into how Doug and the others went into making the Earthworm Jim video game, adding all of its humor, its creativity, and talking about the other members of the Shiny Entertainment group. There's a lot of people here at Shiny, especially Nick Broody, who had a level name named after him in the Sega CD Special Edition called Big Broody. And there's Tommy Tallarico, who was once thought to be a popular music composer, but then he turned out to be a hack. So it's best not talking about him too much anyway. Here's just the rest of the Shiny Entertainment people. Dave Perry, who was a programmer at Shiny Entertainment and pretty much was the head of the company of Shiny in general. A lot of other people here. There's a lot of people that he brought back to for making this book. And here, of course, shows Doug. Well, not Doug, but the other artist. Mike Welsh, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was known for doing the other art for Earthworm Jim. Like, I believe he did the cover art as well, but also some promotional artwork. Mark Lorenzen, Andy Astor, yeah, it's a pretty lengthy book. There's a lot to read, going into detail about the Earthworm Jim history, and here showing some more early design concepts and stuff. Some level designs, geometry. And then he talks about the new graphic novel which he had on Kickstarter. So it's pretty much a lot of stuff that he had to go through, especially writing a script. So yeah, that's about everything this book has to offer. Not just talking about the history of the video game and like his own other work, but there's a lot of stuff to go through and checking out. So there's a lot of pencil artwork that he has from designing the new and updated graphic novel of Earthworm Jim and his retelling. So there's a lot of artwork here. And yeah, that's about it. And there is one of the screens from the Earthworm Jim 2 video game. And that's it. Thanks for watching the first episode of Let's Look At. And this is Benny from the Benny Brothers channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.